Hi everyone, and welcome to the Pisces April 2022 Illumination reading. This is I'm Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. So hi and welcome everyone. If you are new to the channel, this reading is meant to help you find the meaning in the challenge or challenges you are currently experiencing, and to better help you answer the why. Why am I being asked to face this challenge and overcome it? What is it meant to help unlock about my path, my purpose, and some part of myself that needs to be brought to my awareness to better help me see my own spiritual importance? All right, so Pisces, I hope you are having a great start to the month already. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card or some cards to take a look at the internal energy, what you're bringing as we enter this month of April. Then I'll pull some cards to see what's going on around you in your external environment. And then we'll look at the why. Why is Spirit asking you to engage your internal energy with your external environment? What's the lesson to be learned this month? And then we'll pull some additional cards to take a look at areas where you might be blocked in engaging as your unique, authentic self, and then some advice from Spirit as to kind of help you overcome those blocks and to really be able to move through the month confidently, especially in where you choose to take action. Oh, Temperance. Okay, interesting. So I did Cancer's reading yesterday, and this they had the exact same energy, which is very interesting. All right, let's see what's going on in your external environment. Okay, that's quite a few cards there. Let's see what came out. Let's see if I'm going to take it all here. Okay, so we have Page of Swords, we have Seven of Cups, we have Eight of Pentacles, we have, Eight of Wands, we have Wheel of Fortune, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so there's quite a story going on over here for you, Pisces. And then we have, oh beautiful, Four of Wands at the bottom. Okay, so let me jump into this here. Temperance is a beautiful energy to be bringing in through yourself, to be sitting with as internal energy as you move into the month of April. This energy really speaks to your ability to be able to temper, to mediate and moderate your emotions and your passion where you choose to take action, and bringing those two into alignment to almost be able to create something new. The Temperance card in the tarot is the number 14. And for me, the number 14, which breaks down to a number 5, really speaks to growth through change. But what's beautiful about the Temperance card is that it's not just change. It's actually taking parts of yourself that already exist and finding a way to bring them together to create something new. So it's almost like being able to create an alloy out of two different parts of yourself. And it also brings forward an element of divine timing, that there is this kind of angelic, okay, you've come to this point of knowledge about yourself and you've experienced so much about your life up to this point that now there is this moment to kind of capitalize on the lessons learned, on the ups and downs in your emotions, on where you've expressed your passions and where you haven't, and then now to bring that all into alignment to move forward as this kind of fresh version of yourself. So that's something to really keep in mind. And you know, I spoke to this in Cancer's reading, but I'd like to bring it up here too. It's a reminder too of how we have to balance emotion with passion. We can't have kind of one without the other, meaning that we can't just take action without having some emotional connection to what we're doing and why we're doing it. And we also can't just sit with emotion, meaning we can't just feel, but not take any action around that. And this would look like where you're feeling really sad about being in a relationship, but you're not taking action to change that circumstance, whether it's to speak to the individual, to express your feelings and to hopefully change the circumstance, or whether it's to take action to remove yourself from a situation. Or this could be where you're feeling like you want to experience something in your life, something new or something that really calls to your heart, but you're not taking action towards making that happen. So this is a beautiful kind of time for you to realize how those two things, how your emotions and your passions are intrinsically linked, and that when you do bring them together, the power of creation and growth they can have for you. Now in your external environment, we have this this epic story going on right now. So the Page of Swords can be a card where we are trying to gain context of our truth. We are holding our sword of truth and we are going out into the world and using it to see, okay, this is my truth, but what does it mean in context with the greater truth of our existence? It can also be a card of gathering more information. This can actually be a card that can speak to, maybe you spying on somebody or you watching somebody do something and maybe learning from them or understanding. This would be like following somebody on social media that seems to have a similar viewpoint to you, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what are they doing and what are they saying and how are they expressing this part of themselves, and is that where I fit too? Because then this brings in the Seven of Cups, which is that like opportunity, opportunity for emotional fulfillment. It can be a card too where we get a little lost in the, almost like the illusion that there are so many things out there that we it's almost hard to choose. We're like, but what about this? And what about this? And what about this? But the beauty of the Seven of Cups is that it's a lesson to be learned that in all of these things that we could possibly try, things that seem like, oh, we could have a castle, or we could have, money and untold wealth, we could have recognition, all these things, that ultimately through the kind of illusion of all of these options, we rediscover ourself, our spirit. That's what this cup is right here. This is the realization that what we hold in our own cup is us, is ourself, is our spirit, is our uniqueness, and that the rest of it, all the other options, that is the illusion, that there is something outside of ourself that can fulfill us. Instead, we have to, it's like a journey back to the self. We realize, kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz and all of her friends that went on the adventure with her, that they had what they were seeking within them the whole time. But they had to go on the adventure to unlock that about themselves, to realize that this is what I want, and this is actually how to express that part and realize that it's within you. So I feel that there's been this journey for you up to this point, Pisces, that you've been on this journey and you've rediscovered an aspect of self, and now there's a little bit of a go time here. So then we have you diligently working. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is putting your head down, doing the work, and perfecting some aspect in your physical experience. This would be like, okay, I better have a better understanding of who I am, what I want, what I bring to the table, what fulfills me. And now I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start to practice at that. I'm going to, maybe you found a calling that you really enjoy, so you're going to apply yourself at this new job and you're going to really start to put your head down and do it. Or you've found a new person. You realized what you bring to your relationship. You're now in a new relationship and you realize you're going to put your head down and you're really going to work on being the best partner for the relationship that you're in now. But whatever it is, you've been working on something diligently. And now in comes the forward movement, the fast movement, possibly communication. And this is what's getting the wheel turning. There is something here around what you've been working on and communication around that, or possibly communicating about what you've been working on, that's going to not only help you move with the energy that's moving in your favor currently, but also bring in, I think, a sense of awe and wonder around life again. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a card that is really like wearing your heart on your sleeve. This is getting back to that optimistic, childlike vision of self again, vision of emotionally connecting to what you love in life and being able to express that vulnerably, openly, optimistically, and kind of like a child. Now, this card has actually come quite a bit for many signs this month, which I find interesting. It's almost like we're all getting back in touch with our inner child, getting back in touch with that part of ourselves where we're like so excited about life, we just want to share it with everybody. But this can also be where this brings in somebody into your experience like this. The person who comes forward and says, I too am excited about what you're expressing, about what you're working on, and I want to come forward and join you in that. Now, this could be that all of a sudden, yes, you do bring in that romantic partner you've been working so hard to find. Or this could be that you bring in that business partner who's like, that's a great idea. Let's try it. Let's do it together. But whatever it is, this is all about a lesson of learning how to build a firm foundation, and one in which you can celebrate with others that is based on you taking action from a place of passion. Because that's what the Four of Wands speaks to. It speaks to having built a foundation that can be seen and celebrated by others for the joy that it brings, both yourself and the outward experience. But that, again, was built from a place of passion. And that's why people connect with it, because they can see the passion, who you are, as you're living it and creating it in life. So this is a really beautiful month, a really beautiful energy. And I can see the progression that you've been on here, Pisces, which I love. And now I think because you have this ability to balance your emotions with your passions, there is going to be this element of, okay, it is go time. When we've been working on something, we sometimes can get so much into this place of working on something that we forget that we actually have to share it with the world. We forget that at some point we actually have to sell our product or tell people about what we're doing or share our artwork or whatever it is that we're creating and perfecting. The whole part of us being able to live ourselves into life or engage and connect our unique, authentic self with life is that we actually have to then unveil that. We have to share it. We have to speak to it. We have to act on it. And that's what's going to get the wheel turning and what's going to allow you to step up into this beautiful Page of Cups energy, or to bring in a like-minded, I feel like kind of almost like soulmate here for yourself. Now, soulmates don't have to be romantic. Soulmates can be almost like when you think of Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. She brought in willing participants to her journey that helped support her on her journey. Meanwhile, she helped the others and supported their journey as well. And it made the journey fun to go on. And that's a part of the lesson here, is that when we want to create a foundation based from our passions, it's something too that it's not as fun if we can't celebrate that with others. If what we're creating, we can't connect with others. So kind of keep that in mind here. All right, so Pisces, I'm going to pull some additional cards here for the concepts. I'm sorry, to take a look at the blocks that may be coming in. Kind of what are you facing this month, and really being able to, I think, gain the courage to share your story, to share what you've discovered about yourself, what you've been working on for yourself, and to really, again, get the energy that's moving forward, really take advantage of that, to bring in not only people who are here to be on this kind of next leg of the journey with you, but are here to help and support you as you share this part of yourself. All right, what are the blocks Pisces needs to be aware of? Okay, let's see here. So we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Star, we have the Wheel of Fortune again, right at the heart of your reading. Beautiful. We have the Two of Cups. And let's see here. We'll get one final card. So the Ace of Wands here is in your initial challenge position. And the Ace of Wands is that spark of passion from the divine. This is inspiration. This is your eternal flame. And it's a beautiful energy. It is one of creation. It is one, again, of inspiration. And there is a divinity and a very clear link to you, yourself, the part of yourself, the part of your flame that is fed from being connected directly to source energy, to spirit, to what connects everything. Now, where this can become a challenge or a block, oh, Queen of Pentacles, beautiful. Okay, so where this can become a block is when we feel that inspiration, we have that idea, we feel that passion again within ourselves, but we're too afraid to follow it. we don't know how to apply it. It's almost like picking up a magic wand that you found laying in the street somewhere, and you pick it up and it shoots a magic spark off to the side, and you drop it and you're like, whoa, this is a little too much. I don't know if I want to pick this up again and see what it's truly capable of. And that's where we can kind of get stuck in this, when we're starting to reconnect with ourselves and reconnect with our passion, and we're starting to see, kind of tap back into our own power, and we suddenly have this almost like lightning strike of like, oh, it's me again. It can be a little shocking and scary, because often it will illuminate something within our life that needs to be changed or that we've outgrown. And for you, Pisces, what I see coming directly after this is the star. And the star is one of connecting to your deep heart's desire, dream, hope, wish, need for your life. That kind of guiding point that you're always feeling within yourself. It's almost like that internal guiding compass, but yet we are able to see the light external to us. We're basically connecting ourselves to the great beyond. We get a chance to feel through our connection to our unique star, that bond that we have between the universe, God, everything. But yet it's also unique to us. So in that moment, we get to feel our own separateness and our connectedness at the same time through what we truly hope and want to experience for ourselves. And the Ace of Wands, when I really feel like when this comes kind of out of the blue again and we have this reconnection, it is like this lightning bolt again. This could literally be like truly meeting the love of your life, and it brings to life in you something that you forgot that you wanted for yourself. Or this is when you speak to somebody about a passion and they're passionate about the same thing, and suddenly you remember what you wanted for yourself. You remember 20 years ago when you thought you were going to have a career in that realm, or you were watching a movie as a child and you would daydream about living in this place, this perfect environment, doing X, Y, and Z, and suddenly it's that thought comes back. But now it's back stronger and hotter and burning. And that can be scary. That can be something where you're like, I want it so badly, but yet you know how much is going to have to change if you allow yourself to start to be consumed by that flame again, that you know parts of yourself are going to have to burn away. And with that can not only internally, parts of yourself are going to have to kind of almost feel the fire to allow yourself to kind of become the fire. It's going to hurt a little bit. And it's also going to hurt because there's going to be that realization of how far away that star feels from you, how much you let it kind of slip away. And what Spirit's asking you to embrace is the Wheel of Fortune. This basically to embrace this at the heart of your reading as how to move through this, and just to be able to move with the energy around what you've been currently working on. It's almost like Spirit's trying to tell you, look, everything's been leading up to now for you, Pisces. And really it has been, even astrological wise. If you look at the placements in Pisces and how Pisces is playing a big role right now, in the kind of cosmic chaos, as it were, that there is a lot to be said, Pisces, about this time for you as a Pisces or someone who holds a strong Piscean influence in their chart, that the time is now, and that you have been working on something up to this point, whether it's just you living your life up to this point and been working on something that you didn't even realize was something you need to share, or whether you've been consciously working on something that is going to be a part of self-expression of the journey, of the knowledge you've experienced about yourself. But either way, your forward movement and growth hinges on you being able to really lean into this new part of your soul that is on fire again, that's burning, and that is reminding you as well that that burning within us is the same as the burning of the star externally. And again, that's the direct link, is we are always connected, and that star is never that far away. We are actually made up of the same energy source, the same light as that star. And the Wheel of Fortune is just going. In a way, this is kind of going with the flow. It's going with the forward momentum. And the Wheel of Fortune, it isn't like all of a sudden, here you go, spin the wheel and let's see what happens. It's an energy of continual forward movement when the wheel is turning, and it's going to allow you to really embrace taking the one step and then the next step, and then it is like truly thinking of yourself on a Ferris wheel, of going around slowly and seeing all the sights and connecting the dots and realizing, oh, okay, that's where I'm going to go next when I get off of here, and that's what I'm going to do next, and really allowing yourself that time to enjoy this point of forward momentum. Because on the other side of this is the Two of Cups, which is beautiful. This is healthy, equal connection with others. This can be a lovely partnership with a romantic partner, but this can also be a healthy partnership between you and a coworker, you and a business partner, you and a friend or family relationship. It speaks to allowing yourself to connect with others who are of like mind. Now, it doesn't mean that they may absolutely agree 100% with whatever you're working on or expressing, but it does mean that they're coming to the table with a similar healthy view of themselves and their life experience. Because as your final point of challenge, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is kind of the last thing you have to face before you get to move outward here. Is the Queen of Pentacles is one of truly understanding, knowing where to put your time and energy, and really focusing on growing and nurturing the one thing in your physical that really is that seed that you want to grow into a beautiful tree, or so be it, whatever that seed is going to grow into. It is the heightened version of the Eight of Pentacles, where the Eight of Pentacles is, the apprentice becoming the master. The Queen of Pentacles understands she holds one pentacle, and it's her pentacle. You can almost imagine like somebody holding their child, their baby, and they're going to put all their time and energy into that child to help it grow. And they understand that what they choose to put their time and energy towards is not something that's going to grow overnight. It's something that is going to need that continual attention. It's going to need that continual effort put towards it. And it's a commitment. It's a commitment to growing this basically, it's almost like taking the fire, taking this like, here's the child, here's the inspiration, and saying, okay, I'm committing to having this child. Now, for some of you Pisces out there, I'm just saying this. Again, this is a personal message coming through, maybe just for one or two of you. You may be finding out that the person that you're with, or you yourself, is pregnant. So just, be wary of that. If you don't want to be, maybe take precautions. But this could also be where this information kind of comes out of the blue of like, hey, finally, like, we're pregnant. And it's like, whoa. And it almost like makes you realize just how much you wanted that, how much that is going to bring out some aspect of yourself, and how much it's going to change everything. But this last card is then you kind of going through this whole process of committing. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have a child. And now I get to see where all of this was leading up towards. But if it's not obviously an actual child, this is kind of that same feeling of realizing that you were given this gift from the divine of divine inspiration, and you're realizing now what this can give birth to, why you were gifted with this, and you're being asked to commit to it. You're being asked to kind of stay the course. You have perfected some aspect of what you're being asked to nurture and to create. And now it's go time. It's go time to actually, are you going to sign on the dotted line and commit to this? And even again, if it doesn't happen overnight, are you able to see the bigger picture? Are you able to see the tree that this seed will become and commit to growing it? And to allow others to come in to support you as well. This is that beautiful feeling of you're not alone. You have another or others who are there. They're doing the same. They're growing their own seeds, but you get to all do it together. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 additional cards here, which is going to be taking a look at the principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation, and using them to bring what is a very general reading into a more individualized message for you. So we're going to look at where Spirit would like you to be curious so that you can help open up a channel of kind of wonder and awe and curiosity as to what Spirit wants to illuminate for you that you might not have already been aware of pertaining specifically to this reading. Then we're going to look at where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action, and where Spirit would like you to reflect on as an underlying theme for the reading. Basically, be able something to keep in mind, to contemplate on. Okay, wow, lots of cards for you. You got 3. We have Door to Spirit, number 32, breaking down to a 5. So we got the 5 again here. We have Adjacent Possibilities, number 24, breaking down to a 6. And we have Journey, number 2. Very interesting, Pisces. I like this for you. Okay, so when we're thinking about curiosity, this Adjacent Possibilities card, I feel like sums up the kind of feeling of why curiosity can be a helpful energy to step into, because it allows ourselves to stay open to other avenues of either how to share or express or experience what we want, what we've been working on. That sometimes we think we're so focused on, it has to be this way. You know, this could look like you want to get into a new avenue of work and something that you've been really excited to, let's say it's writing. I want to write. And all of a sudden you kind of get this inspiration going back to a time when you remembered that you wanted to be a writer, and maybe you wanted to be a journalist and you felt like you had, you know, it's not important to write unless you're a journalist. And you go back to that. And so you're so focused on, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to sign up for a journalism course, and I'm going to see where I can start to, you know, maybe blog about topics that are important. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get somebody who reaches out to you and says, you know, would you like to come and join a writing workshop to write a screenplay? I need help, and I'd be really interested if you'd come in and work with that with me. I know that you have an English major background. And you're like, oh, no, I'm focused on journalism. I'm getting back into that. And it's like Spirit's saying here, this door to Spirit, there is something opening for you, but it might be a door that you're not readily looking for. And so with Journey, this is kind of, I love this. There's almost this feeling here of, I get a little bit of the Wizard of Oz coming through, that here she goes, thinks that she's going, you know, into her home, hiding from the storm and the chaos that's coming. And she opens a door, not to what she's expecting. She opens a door to a completely different world. And she has to go on a journey through that. So there is something here about that, about almost, again, with this divine timing coming in and with this door to spirit, that there's something here that's opening that it might bring in a different possibility than what you were already focused on, or what you thought this kind of inspiration, where it needed to be applied, or how it needed to be applied, or how it needs to be communicated. By simply making the commitment to honor and grow the seed that is being created by this inspiration, I think if you can stay true to that, then you'll be open to other avenues of how, it's almost like thinking you have to plant the seed in a specific pot, but all of a sudden your neighbor comes by and says, I have this big open piece of land over here. It probably will, your seed will grow much bigger over here. Do you want to plant it over here instead? And you're like, no, I have to plant it in this pot. And then it'll only grow this big, where if you plant it over there and take, the offering from your neighbor, there's a possibility that it could grow 28 times larger than you would have had it in the pot. So there's this feeling of almost maybe possibly leveling up, that there's an opportunity that goes beyond even what you thought. It's almost like maybe you didn't think your message would reach a certain audience, and suddenly it does. So there's something around that here for you. So when we're thinking about curiosity and staying open, keep this in mind. Ask yourself that question: where am I limiting myself in my focus now on what I am creating and how I want to express that? And where can I stay open to adjacent possibilities? And where can I just be ready for the journey? Sometimes we get so focused on the end goal that we forget it's the journey that's the fun part. It's not, when we think of Wizard of Oz, that movie was all about the journey. It wasn't about her coming back to Kansas and living out her life. It was her journey to come back home that was the beauty, the movie that we all want to watch again and again and again. Okay, so now I'm going to pull, Pisces, a card for the concept of courage. And this is where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action, or to keep in mind to give you the courage to take action as we move through the month of April here. This is a really lovely reading, Pisces. It's a really dynamic and kind of quietly powerful reading. There's these themes again of like deep reconnection to self, almost this realization again of your deep connection to everything, and this there's a sense of recommitting to yourself, to what you want and the gifts you've been given. All right, so it says surrender to setting limits. It says it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. I love that. So this is, I think a really nice thing to keep in mind as you are having the courage to take action and to dedicate yourself to growing something that may take a while to come to fruition. And that we sometimes might have others try to come in and maybe offer their own advice on how we should do something, or to, as we start to kind of go through this change within ourselves, there are people who could come in and, again, when we think about the flame kind of burning away things, we might have people who you once associated with, but now as you are starting to kind of rekindle this passion in yourself and get a better sense of personal empowerment, you might have people who want to come in who are attracted to this flame. It's almost like moths to a flame, and they may want to come in and ask you about what you're doing and want to get all the information, or they may come in and be the naysayers where they're seeing the transformation and they're like, who is this guy? I want to be close to him or her, and or however you identify, and I want to be really close to this person. But they may be bringing in energy that is not something you know, it's almost like that feeling of the brighter we get, the more we attract everything. And as we're getting to that place, though, our light may burn other people, or other people may not agree with where we're deciding to spend our time and energy. They may not agree with our commitment to ourselves and what we want to grow. And that's okay. We're each truly on our own journey. And it's okay to sit there and to say, you know, if this person doesn't agree with where I'm spending my time and energy, then I need to put up a boundary with that person. I still need to take the steps I need to take and take action towards myself and fulfilling my dream. And I can just let that other person, you know, naysay in the corner all they want, but I'm not going to allow them to come into my experience anymore. Or that there's also this element of expressing your needs too, that if you need something to change, or you need something to put towards this new commitment to self and to growing something for yourself, then it's time to express that. You know, when we're thinking about balancing our emotions with our passions, again, we have to understand that the two are intrinsically linked. And so when you feel like you need to express a need, which comes directly from your emotional core, it's time to be able to take action from that place and to say, I need to do this, or I need this from this experience. And again, if the other person says, well, no, I can't meet that, or I don't care to be a part of this experience, well, then that's when you can let them live their own life and set a healthy boundary against people who bring in that kind of energy, who maybe, you know, anybody who feels like they're kind of dimming your light or challenging you as to how committed you are to the growing of this new part of yourself. Those are the places you need to set boundaries. It's almost like when you think about it, if you've ever planted anything or gardened, often when you're starting with something small, you do have to put almost like something around it to allow it to grow in the proper way, or to prevent pests from getting to it, or other things like rabbits and you know, other animals that might eat it. So there is this component of almost having to do that with yourself, of having to put up the structure, the foundation of something around this to help grow it, to help allow it to be protected. So just keep that in mind, and don't feel bad, Pisces, if you know, Pisces, with you being a mutable water sign, there is this kind of almost like boundarylessness, a boundlessness, a limitlessness, and a boundarylessness to your experience. And that can kind of be where you can get almost like spiritually jumbled with other people, where you start to kind of mix your spiritual self with the spiritual and emotional selves of others. And this, I think, right now for you is a time to kind of cut that off, be aware of it, and to really put up those boundaries to contain your emotional and spiritual boundaries. All right, so now we're going to pull a final card for the concept of contemplation, and this is where Spirit would like you to reflect for the month of April, to keep this last point in mind as you're moving through the month, to really kind of highlight this whole message here for you. And I think to keep you aware of adjacent possibilities. I really feel that there's going to be this thing that comes in, this wheel of fortune, that as it's turning, all of a sudden it's going to be like that opportunity, that offer, that gift, and you're like, whoa, really? You want to help me grow this in that way? And I really do feel that. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting for you here, Pisces. All right, let's see. What does Pisces need to reflect on for the month of April? All right. You know, there also is, I'm just seeing, you know, as the Four of Wands coming up here, there is this, as that kind of is your main lesson, that really is the sharing of something, of the foundation you've built based on a passion. So there is something to be said here really about focusing on sharing this month Pisces, sharing what you've been working on, sharing what you're feeling, sharing what you're, recommitting yourself to. This could be, simply, maybe you have found a new partner or a new romantic interest, and you're going out there and sharing that with people, showing them that you're together, showing them what you're building together. This could even be you guys making the commitment to move in together, and you're letting others know that this is what's happening. Or it could be, again, moving forward on a business idea, or showing people, what you've been working on as far as just in your personal life. You could be showing your spiritual journey, your spiritual evolution. But whatever it is, it's about really being able to share it with others and do so in more of a public, outward way. Oh, I love this. So we have soul family. It says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. I love that. And that really is coming through here with the Two of Cups and the Page of Cups, that there's this feeling that there are others here on the journey with you, and that it's really to keep your eyes out for those who are ready to come along, and in them going through their journey, they will help nurture what you are choosing to nurture. Not meaning that they are legitimately going to maybe put their time and energy into growing what you're growing, but that they too are growing something, and their perspective of how to go about growing it and their perspective of how to embrace the journey is going to be similar to yours. And I do think this month, with putting up boundaries for yourself, you're really going to see who you want to let in and who needs to stay out. And that's, again, not a bad thing. It's a thing that really, when you're thinking about celebrating something openly, think about even planning a wedding. You know who you want to invite. And we don't generally want wedding crashers at our wedding. There's that feeling of you invite a specific amount of people, and those are the people you want close to you to be in there to celebrate with you. So kind of keep that in mind this month as you're starting this process of keeping yourself open to possibilities. Really use that deep sense of connection to your emotions, Pisces, to really feel into, does this person feel like they're going to support what I'm committing to now? Or does this person feel like they're going to challenge it or actually be somebody who is in direct opposition to that? And then start to kind of, narrow down who is going to be your tribe, and who now needs to kind of, I hate to say it, be a little bit burned away and part of this, reignition of your, eternal flame. All right, Pisces, I think this is going to be a really lovely month for you. Have the courage to set limits around yourself, but don't hold yourself back from going out there and either taking action or expressing what you've been working on, sharing it with others, because that's what's going to get the wheel turning in your favor. All right, so Pisces, if you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, I will be running a special for the entire month of April, where my I Am Illuminated 1-hour reading is 25% off for the entire month of April. It's a great way to get reconnected to who you are. It includes a tarot reading and a unique look at your astrological and numerological aspects as well. I do also have a link to a video in the description box below that really describes what that reading goes into and why it's so important to understand your spiritual importance. And if you'd like to engage with me on social media, I do have my link to my Instagram account and soon to be Facebook account as well. I am not in love with social media, but I do find it is a great way to share additional pieces of inspiring information around maintaining your spiritual health in a way that's a little different than I can do here on YouTube. You can also visit my website, where I will be featuring blogs that go and take a deeper dive to what I speak to here in these readings. Now, if I don't see you on any of those other platforms or for a personal reading, I look forward to seeing you again, Pisces, in May for your May Illumination reading. Bye, guys.